What's happening, VC community? It's me again, D-Mix. I'm here to post a video for congratulations to Litebreeze55. I'm here to post a video for a contest showing records that influence you, I think, through the years 5, 10, 15, 20. That's a very good contest because you know why? You get to think about just where you was at a point of your life when certain music came out and how it influenced you. Looking at all everybody else's videos, it was very interesting. So it took me a couple of days to go through some stuff, and I like that contest. It's for Litebreeze55, doing a great job, and to the whole community. I mean, everybody is jumping on the board. My video, my vinyl. Too, I've seen a couple of videos. Life on this planet. So many people you can't even name. But try to keep up with a couple of contests because it keeps me busy, keeps me interested, especially when it comes to music. But this particular one was to show some of the music influences. I think as you was growing up, I don't want to date myself too much, but I do remember when we was getting ready to go to school. I think in New York we only had like a few stations, not that many stations, even though New York was the place. But getting ready for school, we always had to listen to the radio, find out the time, the weather, and we had this cat Harry Harrison, I think, and every morning he would either play something from Sounds of Philadelphia, whether it be 3 Degrees, or he would play these gentlemen here, the OJs. Anything from the OJs was played that morning. My particular one I love was Love Train. It's a classic here. Some remember For the Love of Money. The OJs was always playing. That's what I remember when we was always getting ready to go to school. Of course, he used to play Elton John. Now, this is the greatest hits because it, included a lot of stuff like Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Crocodile Rock, Benny and the Jets. I remember all of those records when I was younger, getting ready for elementary school. That's how old I am. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Bad Luck, The Love I Lost. So this is basically early 70s. I grouped it off like that, so because I couldn't really figure out. Once I started getting into music and listening to my father's records, I remember my father used to turn off the lights in the living room, sit there, listen to music by himself. The room was dark. I don't know what else he was doing back there. I'm not gonna say, but I always remember him playing this very loud. Santana. You know this classic album, and this was a very good percussion album. I appreciated the album. I remember he had an album, and it also I remember he went and got a new album because he got this new thing that was back then in the 70s called quadraphonic. And then when you got a quadraphonic stereo, now you have to go look for a quadraphonic vinyl, which had the label quadraphonic. Once you played it on the quadraphonic stereo, you'll see a light up. So back then they had the technology to, it had signals in the record to enhance the record, more like today's technology, surround sound. But back then in the 70s, they had something called quadraphonic. And I remember when this record came out in quadraphonic, so it was really loud in the house when he did play it. But I remember it because it influenced me, because as I was growing up as a teenager, I really got into the percussions of Santana and this album. Also, this one really influenced me. Need I say more? When you listen to this record, I think this is a reissue, of course. But when you listen to the words, you listen to the record, at that time we was real young, really didn't understand too much. what Marvin was trying to say, but you could really feel what he was saying. So at a younger age, you could appreciate when he was talking about war. He was talking about poverty before it was popular to even say that. Um, this album very influential, especially as I was growing up, and listening to music. One of the few albums I would listen to the whole album. So I guess we could fast forward. Like I said, I grew up in the Bronx, the home of hip hop, and Bam and Bambaataa, Kool Herc, DJ Baron, Breakout, Jazzy J. I mean, yeah, Jazzy J. Used to set up equipment in the park, and that's how we got our knowledge of hip hop. But I know one thing: when the message came out, that could not be deniable. See, people think he was gonna thought I was gonna pull out Sugar Hill or something. But Sugar Hill was more of a, how would I say? Even though it was the first record, rap record, commercial record, you give them their props. But these dudes here, I'm sorry about the lighting. They was from the hood. They played in the back of the center. They knew how it was to grind. There you go. You can even see the abandoned buildings back there. But the message, the record, and I'll flip it over here. Of course, Planet Rock, very influential records. So at that time, we were older teenagers. Everybody's break dancing, parties at the center, and it just was a good time at that time, when you was young back then. You know, no politicking. It was all about fun. Not like it is now. So that was really a great influence in my life, and especially when I started DJing. Then I think I started getting a little bit into jazz, but not heavy into jazz. I listened to a little bit of Herbie Hancock. But when Herbie Hancock did a little hip hop with Rocket, that made me buy this album. Matter of fact, this is the original album I bought back then. Sound system, you can see a little tear here and there. And I bought it because of Rocket. So that really made the generations get together. Because Herbie Hancock, we knew him for jazz, but when he did Rocket, and then we saw him on TV doing it, it was amazing. This is the DJ that was on the album with Herbie Hancock. His name is Grandmaster DST. He was doing all the scratching. He was from the Bronx. And he had an album out too. So he did pretty well for himself. Working with Herbie Hancock. That combined, that made generations get together. So that was definitely heavy influence. And and finding out different genres of music and how they work together. And I appreciated that. Then as we got a little bit older and started playing a little more, I started working with a couple of people. I'm sorry, this video is running long. Oops. But just to show you how distance we got, we not only took it to hip hop, we started listening to a little punk rock. This is Soft Cell, Tainted Love. Then, of course, we had the Clash, Magnificent Dance. You couldn't do that. That just shows you how the times was. It changed, but it changed for the better because music was progressive. So this is also another era in the 80s, going towards the late 80s that had an influence. Just a couple of more records that I appreciated because after that music really was so many pieces you could listen to. You know, um, as you get into the 90s and beyond, it's really hard to pick up something unless you really listen to it all the time. And since I didn't have to listen to one thing all the time, I always had to listen to different kinds of music. I couldn't really find anything. So I'll just pick a couple of things that I would listen to, even to this day, the whole album. And you can see the R over there. This is a heavy duty album. This is 3 albums in one. Mr. R. Kelly. This album was very well put together. This is probably one of the only albums that have 3 pieces of vinyl in it that I could probably listen to because there was a lot of hits in this album. I think he won a Grammy for this one. It was well put together. I'll give him his props. And I like that a lot of people haven't shown Thriller or Bad, but I will go with Dangerous because this had a New Jack influence in it, and the New Jack influence was another thing that DJs loved because it really made the party keep going. This really influenced me because I get to play it a lot, and I still play it to this day. Michael Jackson's Dangerous. This is actually a box, and if you open it up, it pops up into a house with the CD. I've never opened it up since 1992 when it came out. I don't know why I was holding on to it. I think I was holding on to it for my son's college, but I guess I think I'll hold on to it for my old age. But that's some of the things I figured, I'll just submit, and hopefully you like it. Please leave your comments. I hope I didn't take it too far, but I just couldn't find stuff. But I gave you some groupings and some things that influenced me throughout my years of growing up. Peace out to everybody in the VC community. Light Breeze, this is a great contest. Hopefully you enjoy it. Peace.